Hey everyone, I'm Shunko and I'm back again with another seasonal upcoming anime video, this time for spring 2016. Let's keep this intro short and jump right into the TV series. Let's start things off with Rei Zero Kara Hajimeru Isekai Seikatsu. Subaru Natsuki is an ordinary high school student who is lost in an alternate world where he is rescued by a beautiful silver-haired girl. He stays near her to return the favor, but the destiny she is burdened with is more than Subaru can imagine. Enemies attack one by one and both of them are killed. He finds out that he has the power to rewind death back to the time when he first came to this world, but only he remembers what has happened since. This reminds me of an anime last season called Konosuba, but more darker and without the time traveling. And made by White Fox, this series starts airing sometime in April. Kanojo to Kanojo no Neko, everything flows. The story portrays the life of a junior college student job hunting while living alone with her pet black cat. And made by Lin Films, this series will air on March 4th. The remaining episodes of God Eater 10 to 13 will be finished this season starting March 5th. This series is animated by Ufotable. Mayoiga is about 30 young men and women who have come together on a shady bus tour. The tour's destination? An elusive, possibly non-existent village called Nanakimura. In Nanakimura, one can lead an utopian existence, free of the world's obstacles, or so it is rumored, like an urban legend. In despair over the real world, wanting to escape the tedious daily life, wanting to restart your life from scratch, the bus heads deep into the mountains, carrying 30 people, each with their own expectations and wounds in their hearts. And so the place these 30 arrived at was an uninhabited village with a lingering faint sense of life, even though it is falling apart. What exactly is the truth of Nanakimura facing the 30? And made by Dio Media, this series will start airing on April 1st. Next is Uchuu Patoru Luluco, or Space Patrol Luluco. The show takes place in Okikubo, which is the name of the specifically designated area in space in the Milky Way where Earthlings and aliens can live together. Luluco is a female middle school student who lives with her father, and no matter where she is, Luluco is a common supernormal girl. As she is living her normal life, one day the mysterious transfer student A Omega Nova abruptly appears before her. That meeting will change Luluco's fate. And made by Trigger, this series starts airing on April 1st. Kagewani Shou is the second season of the Kagewani TV series that will feature the same new form of panic suspense animation as the first season. And made by Toe Movies, this series will air on April 1st. Shingeki no Bahamut Manaria Friends, translated as Rage of Bahamut, Manaria Friends, is an anime adaptation of the Manaria Maho Gakuen event within Side Games' Rage of Bahamut social game. In the game, Mysteria Academy is a prestigious magic school that teaches magic without discrimination to the three factions, men, gods, and demons, who usually are engaged in battle with each other. The story follows Hannah, the student council president of Mysteria Academy, who hails from the elf tribe, joined by Anne, the honor student princess, and Greya, a princess born from a dragon and a human. And made by Studio Hibari, this series starts airing on April 1st. Bonobono 2016 anime. Bonobono is a simple, good-hearted sea otter who lives near a large forest. Every day he has small adventures with his two best friends, Shimarisu, the mischievous squirrel, and Araiguma, the short-tempered raccoon. And made by Aiken, this series starts airing on April 2nd. Future Card Buddyfight Triple D is the third season of the anime series based on the card game of the same name. Season 3 will feature a lot of new beginnings as Gao and friends meet new people, encounter new buddy monsters, figure out a new type of impact, and embark on a new chapter in the story. And made by Oriental Lion Magic and Zebek, this series starts airing on April 2nd. Gyakuten Saiban Sono Shinjitsu Igiari, also known as Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, based on the hit Capcom game series, will get an anime adaptation following the lives of new defense attorney Naruhodo Ryuichi, his mentor Ayasato Chihiro, and her spirit medium sister Mayoi as they work with colorful characters such as Detective Itono Kogiri Keisuke to save Ryuichi's clients from a guilty verdict. And made by A1 Pictures, this series will air on April 2nd. Mobile Suit Gundam Unicorn RE0096 is a TV series edit of the OVA series of the same name. It will be animated by Sunrise and starts airing on April 3rd. Next is Boku no Hero Academia. People are not born equal. A realization that 4-year-old Midoriya Izuku faced when bullied by his classmates who had unique special powers. Izuku was one of the rare cases where he was born with absolutely no unique powers. This, however, did not stop Izuku from pursuing his dream, a dream of becoming a great hero like the legendary All Might. To become the great hero he hopelessly wants to become, he now will join the ranks of one of the highest rated hero academies in the country, Ueko. With the help of his idol All Might, will he be able to claim the ranks and become a true hero? And made by Bones, this series starts airing on April 3rd. Beyblade Burst, the February issue of Shogakukan's Koro Comics magazine, announced that the Beyblade Burst television anime will premiere. The issue also detailed two characters from the anime, Baruto Aoi, a hot-blooded kid who loves to attack and wields a Beyblade named Valkyrie, and Shu Kurenai, an elite blader who is a genius but still puts in a lot of effort, and wields the Beyblade named Spriggan. And made by Oriental Light and Magic, this series is scheduled to air on April 4th. Third season of Kaitou Joker series. The thief mysterious Joker doesn't just steal things. An audacious and elusive miracle maker, he travels the world searching for treasure with his partner and cook, Hachi. As they circle the globe, they must avoid traps set by the police and compete in various competitions to reach their final goal, the Time Slip Treasure. And made by Shina Animation, this series starts airing on April 4th. Seisen Kaburasu, Ryuukoku no Fatalite, follows 16-year-old Hiro, who takes up a sword in order to avenge his parents' death by killing the evil dragon Dangard. And made by Bridge, this series starts airing on April 4th. Shounen Ashibe Go Go Goma-chan follows the daily life of first grader Ashibe Ashia and his spotted seal pet, Goma-chan. Anime by Bridge, this series starts airing on April 5th. Hakuoki Togizoshi. The series of anime shorts will feature the characters from the Hakuoki games in chibi form, and will feature a completely new story with the theme A Normal Everyday Life That Might Have Existed. Anime by DLE, Episode 1 will be previewed at a screening at the Science Hall of the Japan Science Foundation's Science Museum on April 3rd, 2016. Regular broadcasting starts on April 5th. Battle Spirits Double Drive is a new Battle Spirits card game based anime series. Anime by Bandai Namco Pictures, this series starts airing on April 6th. Neko Nihonshi. The story imagines if Japanese historical figures such as Queen Himiko, the warlord Oda Nobunaga, and Samurai Sakamoto Ryoma were cats. Anime by Joker Films, this series starts airing on April 6th. Super Lovers. While spending summer with his mother, Haru meets Ren, a boy that is newly adopted by his mother. Getting along with Ren isn't easy as Haru's goal is to civilize him by the time summer ends. Their relationship slowly improves as Haru spends more time with Ren, and in return Ren steadily warms up to him. Can they really become a family at the end of summer? Anime by Studio Dean, this series starts airing on April 6th. Onigiri anime adaptation is based on the Onigiri Japanese MMORPG. Onigiri thrusts its players into mystical Japan, a land filled with mythical creatures of Japanese legend. Starting as a lone Oni, players fight against the malevolent influence of the Kamikui as their miasma spreads over the land. 8 NPCs, each have their own distinct personality and skills, ally themselves with the player to help build a legend and quell the evil that has risen. As you grow stronger together, so do the bonds binding you to each other. Anime by Studio Piero Plus, this series starts airing on April 7th. Aikatsu Stars was a recently registered trademark by Bandai Namco Pictures for animation, games, character shows, books, music, and merchandise. No animation studio was announced, but since Bandai Namco Pictures is an animation studio, they will probably be making an anime TV series for it. This will start airing on April 7th. Netoge no yome wa ononoko janai to omota, translated as "And you thought there is never a girl online?" The story centers on Hideki Nishimura, a young man who confessed to a person he thought was a girl online, only for that person to turn out to be a boy. He keeps his black history secret and swears to never trust a girl online again. However, one day a girl online confesses to him, and it turns out she's actually a beautiful girl named Ako Tamaki. Ako cannot tell the difference between the online world and reality, and she's a loner who has trouble communicating. Hideki and his friends from his guild decide to work together to correct her. Anime by Project Number 9, this series starts airing on April 7th. Kyokai no Rine, second season, is the sequel to the Kyokai no Rine TV series. Rine and Sakura's Shinigami adventures continue with the young Shinigami trying to scrape together any money possible to survive. Their daily lives get more complicated with the appearance of Renge, a Shinigami in training turned Damashigami who is in love with Kane. Anime by Brainspace, this series starts airing on April 9th. Flying Witchy, or Flying Witch. Whatever makes you feel better. Aomori, Japan. In a land blessed by nature's bountiful beauty, bizarre things begin to take place. Makoto Kawata, 15 years old, is a professional witch. She is also an airhead with a bad sense of direction. She left Yokohama with Chito, her black cat, to live in the house of her relatives in Aomori. This is where she begins to train as a witch. Even though Makoto's powers are still limited to just flying through the sky, she and her second cousins, Kei and Chinatsu, surely make the most out of each and every day. Anime by JC Stat, this series starts airing on April 10th. Usakame is a spin-off series of Take-You featuring the girls of the rival tennis team of Usakame High School. And made by Mirupanse, this series starts airing on April 11th. Magi Sinbad no Boken, or Adventure of Sinbad, is a spin-off of Magi taking place 30 years before the events of Magi, focusing on Sinbad's journey to become king. This series tells the story of Sinbad's early life when he captured 2 of the dungeons. And made by Leduce, this series airs on April 15th. Next is Big Order. 10 years ago, a child wished for the destruction of the world. Now a group of people has the ability to grant their wishes depending on their power. They are called Order User. Before these great people who have the power of order, one person excels the most with the ability to rule and conquer the world and turn people into puppets when it is in his jurisdiction. This power belongs to Hoshimiya Eiji, who is also responsible for the destructive phenomena that happened exactly 10 years ago. And made by Asread, this series starts airing on April 16th. A third season of Cardfight Vanguard G series entitled Strido Gate-hen. No animation studio was announced, but judging by its track record, it will probably be animated by TMS Entertainment. This series starts airing on April 17th. Juni Side, Chichan no Mune no Tokimaki. The story begins with Hanabi, a 6th grade girl who's neither an adult or a child. She deals with issues such as accidentally witnessing her homeroom teacher kissing and worrying about experiencing psychological changes before her friends. The series depicts a 12-year-old girl's innocent worries and first love. No animation studio was announced, and this series will air sometime in April. Bakuon. The story revolves around high school girls who discover the appeal of motorcycles. Sakura Hane is a high school student who looks a little bit like an airhead. On the way to her all-female high school one day, she is worn out climbing a hilly road with a bicycle. She sees a girl named Onsa Amano who is riding a motorcycle. Sakura immediately becomes interested in motorcycles, and she and Onsa join a motorcycle club at the school. Then, Sakura sets out to get her license. And made by TMS Entertainment, this series starts airing in April. Bishoujo Senshi Sailor Moon Crystal Death Busters-hen. The season adapted the Death Busters arc from the 5th and 6th volumes of the complete edition of the original Sailor Moon manga. Animated by Toei Animation, this series will be previewed at a special screening at Animate Ikebukuro on March 3rd. Regular broadcasting starts sometime in April. Bungo Stray Dogs. Nakajima Atsushi was kicked out of his orphanage, and now he has no place to go and no food. While he is standing by a river on the brink of starvation, he rescues a man whimsically attempting suicide. That man is Dazai Osamu, and he and his partner Kunikita are members of a very special detective agency. They have supernatural powers and deal with cases that are too dangerous for the police or the military. They're tracking down a tiger that has appeared in the area recently. Around the time Atsushi came to the area, the tiger seems to have a connection to Atsushi, and by the time the case is solved, it is clear that Atsushi's future will involve much more of Dazai and the rest of the detectives. And made by Bones, Episode 1 will be previewed at an event in Marunouchi, Piccadilly on March 27th. Episode 1 and 2 will be previewed at Yokohama Berg 13 on April 2nd. Regular broadcasting starts sometime in April. Concrete Revolutio Chojin Genso's second season is the second core of the Concrete Revolutio TV series. And made by Bones, this series airs in April. Duel Masters vs RF, or Duel Masters vs Revolution Final, is a new series that will feature talking hamsters as well as amazing transfer students who appear one after another. A video also confirms that Kata Kirifuda, the younger brother of the previous franchise lead, Shobu Kirifuda, will continue to star in the series. And made by Showpro, this series starts airing sometime in April. End Bride. The story set on Endra, an unknown world beneath the surface of Earth itself. It is another world where the giant Adamus shines above and 7 colored bands drift across the skies. One day, Shun Asanaga, an ordinary yet positive and bright 15-year-old middle school boy who lived in the land above, lands in this place. He had discovered a mysterious crystal at a scientific businessman father's company, and the moment he touched the crystal, he was transported to Endra. He meets Prince Emilio, who strongly despises the current king Dulzane and had just turned 16 at Endra's castle. He became of age to ascend to the throne, and he wields a weapon to seek his vengeance at last. But the difference in strength proves to be insurmountable. Captured and imprisoned by Dulzane, Emilio is heartbroken. But then, the walls of the prison suddenly become distorted, and Shun appears within them. Animated by Brainspace, this series starts airing sometime in April. Gakuten Toshi Asterisk, second season. It's just a continuation of the series. Nothing more has been revealed yet. I wonder though, why doesn't Rakudai Kishi no Kavri have a second season? Animated by A1 Pictures, the second season will air sometime in April. Next is Haifuri. With Japan having developed as a maritime nation, it became necessary to have specialized schools to teach skills essential to protecting the sea. The setting is one such all-girls school. The girls who enroll here study to become blue mermaids through classroom instruction and teaching of practical skills. Blue mermaids are women who pursue the ocean for their professional occupation. They live by the motto, "In the sea we live, the sea we protect, and by the sea we go." They must excel in their studies but must also adopt an international mindset. They are the elite of the sea and are expected to be knowledgeable of the customs and cultures of other countries as well as their own. Animated by Production IMS, this series starts airing in April. 100. That is the only weapon that can impose the mysterious life form Savage from visiting the Earth. The protagonist, Kurosagi Hayato, aims to become a martial arts master using his 100. He managed to get into the Battleship University Little Garden. Hayato, however, feels a strange yet familiar sense of incongruity towards Emile Crossford, his roommate who somehow knows him from somewhere. On top of that, as soon as he enters the school, he is challenged to a duel by the Queen, the school's most powerful military arts master, Claire Harvey. Animated by Production IMS, this series airs in April. Jojo no Kimio na Boken, Daimon wa Kurakinai, is the 4th story arc of the Jojo no Kimio na Boken series. The coastal town of Morio is plagued by the bow and arrow, an ancient artifact which manifests latent stand abilities in criminals and ordinary folk alike. At the same time, they are dealing with the huge influx of stand users, both good and bad, in Morio. High schooler Josuke Higashikata and his friends are searching for the culprit of a series of homicides. Animated by David Production, this series starts airing in April. Next is Joker Game. Taking place in the year 1937 on the eve of World War II, the story involves a mysterious spy training organization known as the D Agency. The organization is established by Lieutenant Colonel Yuki from the Imperial Japanese Army. His ideals lead him to recruit people beyond military academy graduates and personnel, while training them to become skilled agents in arts of manipulation. These agents would become a specialized team to conduct operations. One such anti-hero agent, under the name Jirogamo, goes on a harrowing mission to uncover secret documents titled Black Notes, while battling forces from within and without his own ranks. Animated by Production IG, this series starts airing in April. Kamiwaza Wanda. The story is set in a world where every event has been turned into programs, and mysterious monsters known as Promen maintain the world. However, many Promen have been turned into bugs known as Bugmen, are responsible for many of the world's real-life bugs. Left alone, they may eventually turn into a big problem. The boy Yuto encounters the space dog Wanda, and the pair use a camera-like device and key items to capture Bugmen. Promen themselves are able to do things like accelerate objects, spew fire, or create objects through an ability known as Kamiwaza or Miracle, and are able to fend off Bugmen with it. At first, the Bugmen only cause small, bothersome things, but it will soon elevate into a global-scale threat. Can one boy and one dog save the world? Animated by TMS Entertainment, this series starts airing in April. Next is Kisniver. The story takes place in a fictional Japanese city called Sugomori City. One day, Sonosaki tells her classmate Katsuhira, who have been selected to be a Kisniver, the Kizuna system, which allows Katsuhira to share his wounds, which connects him to the classmates whose lives and personalities completely differ from his. The Kizuna system is an incomplete system for the implementation of world peace that connects people through wounds. All those who are connected to the system are called Kisnivers. When one Kisniver is wounded, the system divides and transmits the wound among the other Kisnivers. Sugimori City is built on reclaimed land, but as the years go by, the city's population is decreasing. The story is set in this town where Katsuhira and the others live. Anime by Trigger, the same studio that brought you Kill la Kill and Little Witch Academia. Episodes 1 and 2 will be previewed at a screening at United Cinema Toyosu on March 27th. Regular broadcasting starts sometime in April. Koketsujo no Kabaneri, translated as Kabaneri of the Iron Fortress. As the world is in the middle of an industrial revolution, a monster appears that cannot be defeated unless its heart, which is protected by a layer of iron, is pierced. By infecting humans with its bite, the monster can create aggressive and undead creatures known as kabane. On the island Hinomoto, located in the far east, people have built stations to shelter themselves from these creatures. People access the station as well as transport wares between them with the help of a locomotive running on steam called Hayajiro. Ikoma, a boy who lives in the Aragane station and helps to build Hayajiro, creates his own weapon called Tsurarun Kizutsu in order to defeat the creatures. One day, as he waits for an opportunity to use his weapon, he meets a girl named Mume, who is excused from the mandatory kabane inspection. During the night, Ikoma meets Mume again as he sees Hayajiro growing out of control. The staff on the locomotive has turned into the creatures. The station, now under attack by Kabane, is the opportunity Ikoma has been looking for. Anime by Wit Studio, the same studio that brought you Shingeki no Kyojin and Dewari no Seraph. This series starts airing in April. Kumemiko, or Girl Meets Bear. The story follows Machi, a middle school student who serves as a shrine maiden at a Shinto shrine, enshrining a bear in the recesses of a certain mountain in Japan's northern Tohoku region. Machi's guardian is a talking bear named Natsu, and one day Machi says to Natsu, "I want to go to a school in the city." The warrior ward Natsu then gives Machi a set of trials that she must pass in order to be able to survive in the city. Anime by EMT Squared and Kinema Citrus, this series airs in April. Kuro Mukuro is Studio PA Works' 15th anniversary project. The studio, known for beautifully made works such as True Tears, Kanen, Charlotte, Angel Beats, and Nagi no Asakara. This original series will air sometime in April. Pan de Peace is the cute and soft-bred 4-panel manga that centers around Minami, an airheaded girl who is starting high school and who loves eating bread for breakfast. Baked goods bring happiness every day to her and her classmates, the reliable Yu, the pastry-baking Fuyumi, and the independent Noah. Anime by Asahi Production, this series airs in April. Macross Delta is set 8 years after the events of Macross F. Anime by Satellite. Episode 0.89 aired in Japan on December 31st. Episodes 1 and 2 will be previewed at a screening at Toho Cinema Shinjuku on March 21st. Regular broadcasting starts sometime in April. Sakamoto desu ka? Follows the daily life of the coolest high school student Sakamoto. As soon as he transfers to his new school, he attracts the attention of not just his class, but the whole student body, and his jealous classmates' attempt to bully him repeatedly backfire and instead make Sakamoto look cooler. Anime by Studio Dean. Episode 1 will be previewed at a screening at Ryuukoku Asahi Hall on March 12th. Regular broadcasting starts in April. Sancho Sanyo is a story that follows everyday life of 3 very different high school students, all of whom have the kanji for leaf in their name. The title is a Japanese idiom that means 3 people who have different personalities to the other 2, but the manga style replaces the final kanji in the idiom with the kanji for leaf. Futaba Odagiri is the new transfer student with a super energetic personality. Teru Hayama is the class president with a surprisingly mean personality contrary to her innocent looks. And Yoko Nishikawa is from a formerly rich, now extremely poor family who still holds on to her princess attitude. These 3 unlikely students with clashing personalities become good friends and survive the day-to-day teenage life in a very funny story. Anime by Dogokobo, this series starts airing in April. Shounen Maid. The story revolves around Chihiro Komiya, an energetic elementary school student who is living with his mom. Chihiro is very good at doing housework and chores, and his mother's motto is no work, no food. After his mother suddenly dies, a man named Madoka Taketori, who claims to be his uncle, shows up and asks Chihiro to come live with him. Chihiro initially refuses, but when seeing the horribly dirty state of Madoka's rich home, he decides to start cleaning it. Then Madoka makes another offer to Chihiro that he comes to live with him, but in exchange, Chihiro would do the housework. Chihiro accepts this deal, but suddenly finds himself in a maid uniform. Anime by 8-bit. Episode 1 will be previewed at a screening at Ryuukoku Asahi Hall on March 12th. Regular broadcasting starts in April. Show by Rock Zoku-hen is the 2nd season of the Show by Rock series. The sequel will also follow with a new short anime. The tagline for the series is, I believe in music and in my friends and in the future. Anime by Bones, this series starts airing in April. Next is Soshi no Omyoji. Rokuro is from a family of exorcists, but he'd rather be a singer, a soccer player, or anything but an exorcist. He's forced to own up to his incredible potential when the new rival Benio stirs his competitive spirit, but their rivalry gets a twist when they earn the prestigious title of Twin Star Exorcist. 2 supreme fighters fated to marry and birth the ultimate spiritual warrior. Anime by Studio Piero, this series airs in April. Sword Guy. The story revolves around Guy, who was born beside a woman who met her death in a forest. He was adopted by the swordsman Amon. A few years later, Guy became Amon's apprentice, and during the forging of a sword, he loses his right arm. To help him, Amon crushes the demon sword Shiryu to form it into Guy's replacement right arm. Guy is then able to fuse with the weapon on his arm and fights against his enemies. Anime by DLE, this series airs sometime in April. Tanaka-kun wa itsumo keruruge, sighing, leaning on his elbows, sleepy eyes. Tanaka-kun is a boy that basically doesn't try, but isn't disliked. This is a laid-back youth comedy about Tanaka-kun and the quiet Ota, and made by Silverlink. Episodes 1 and 2 will be previewed at a screening at Shinjuku Piccadilly on March 20th. Regular broadcasting starts in April. Terraformers Revenge is the second season of the TV anime series Terraformers. The staff this season will differ from the first. And made by Liden Films and TYO Animations, this series airs in April. Tonkatsu DJ Agetaro, the gag manga, follows Agetaro Katsumata, a stupid but honest guy whose family has run a tonkatsu or breaded pork cutlet restaurant for 3 generations. He's also a beginner club DJ, and made by Studio Dean. This series airs in April. Unhappy. The story centers around Class 1-7 of Tenno Gufune Academy, where all the students with bad karma or misfortune seem to have been gathered. Hibari, a student in this class, meets the unlucky Hanako and the perennially unhealthy Botan on her first day of school, and together they try to find a way to turn their school life into a happy one. And made by Silverlink, episode 1 will be previewed at a screening at Shinjuku World 9 on March 20th. Regular broadcasting begins in April. Ushio to Tora, second season, is a continuation of the Ushio to Tora TV series, and made by MAPPA and Studio Voln. Episode 1 will be previewed at a screening at United Cinema Toyosu on March 13th. Regular broadcasting starts in April. Finally, we have Wagamama High Speku. It will be an anime adaptation of the visual novel. Even though he's just a student, the protagonist also happens to be the author of a manga published in a weekly magazine. Since it's mainly an ecchi and rom-com type of story, he's actually hiding this fact from most people around him. The only people that know are his younger sister and his best friend. But then on one day, the student council president happens to find out his secret, just as she was actually looking for a male member to include in the student council. Afraid of having his secret exposed, our protagonist joins the student council under the promise of his secret staying safe. Anime by Akshizu, this series starts airing in April. With the TV series out of the way, we'll move on to the Blu-rays, DVDs, OVAs, and pretty much anything considered an extra or bonus. Orega Ojo-sama Gaku ni Shomin Sampudu Toshite Getsu Sadeteken specials. This short anime special will be one of the 3rd, 4th, and 5th volume of the Blu-ray and DVD release of the series. And made by Silverlink, this special will be released on March 2nd for the 3rd volume, April 2nd for the 4th, and May 3rd for the 5th. Prison School OVA features the previously unanimated Mad Wax art from the manga. This will be bundled with the limited edition of the manga's 20th volume, and made by JC Staff. This OVA will be released on March 4th. Kurage no Shokudo, translated as Jellyfish Restaurant. The protagonist finds himself lying on the beach one day. He is picked up by Arashi, who manages a restaurant called Kurage no Shokudo. When asked who he is, the protagonist tells him a lie that he lost his memory, but he remembers everything, including the fact that his twin brother died. And made by Zexus, this OVA will be released on March 9th. Kusei Marushi Kosei no Kyokan OVA is an unaired episode above the 9th light novel volume of Kusei Marushi Kosei no Kyokan. Anime by Diomedia, this episode will be released on March 9th. The next 2 shorts are produced by Pony Canyon and anime by 7 Arcs to promote the Saga Prefecture in Japan. It will highlight the prefecture's culture. The first is Fuyu no Chikai Natsu no Matsuri. Takeyoshi no Dai Kusunoki is set in the city of Takeyoshi and will center on 2 characters, a boy and a girl, who grow up watched by a large camphor tree or Kusunoki tree that endures the time and seasons. It will screen in the Saga Prefectural Space and Science Museum. This anime short will premiere on March 12th. Yakusoku no Utsu wa Arita no Hatsukoi. The short will be set in the town of Arita and will be a youth story highlighting the scenery of Arita. It will screen in the Kyushu Ceramic Museum. This short anime premieres on March 12th. Haito Gensu no Grimgar Special is an original unedited episode 2.5 included with the first Blu-ray and DVD volume that will expand on the ending of episode 2. Anime by A1 Pictures, this special will be released on March 16th. Noragami Aragoto OVA for the 16 volume DVD will adapt the manga's 41st chapter where the main characters go to Kapika Land. Anime by Bones, this OVA will be released on March 17th. Mobile Suit Gundam Thunderbolt episode 3 will be released on March 18th. It will be animated by Sunrise. Bakuron OVA will be one of the manga's 7th volume. Animated by TMS Entertainment, this OVA will be released on March 18th. Aria the Avenir Part 2 will be released with the Blu-ray box of Aria the Natural. Animated by TYO Animations, this will be released on March 23rd. Charlotte Special is an unaired episode bundle of the 7th Blu-ray and DVD volume of Charlotte. Animated by PA Works, this special will be released with the bundle on March 23rd. Valkyrie Drive Mermaid Specials are mini OVA episodes bundled with the Blu-ray and DVD releases of the series. The 4th volume will be released on March 24th, 5th on April 28th, and the 6th on May 26th. These will be animated by ARMS. Dimension W specials are short specials included in the Blu-ray releases of Dimension W. Volume 1 of the Blu-ray will be released on March 25th, 2nd volume on April 22nd, and 3rd volume on May 27th. These will be animated by Studio 3Hz. Osama-san short film series are shorts bundled with the Blu-ray and DVD volume releases of the series. Animated by Studio Pierrot, the 3rd volume will be released on March 25th, April 29th for the 4th, and May 27th for the 5th. Sojotachi wa Koyo o Mezas OVA is an original anime bonus included the first print of the PC game of the same name. Animated by Barnum Studio and Project Number 9, this OVA will be released on March 25th. OVAs of Setokai Yakuindomo Season 2 will either bundle with the limited editions of the manga volumes or as standalone OVAs. Animated by Gohans, Episode 5 of the OVA series will be released on April 15th. Kami-sama Hajimemashita Kako-hen is an OED adapting the past arc, which spans from mid-volume 14 to volume 17 in the manga. And made by TMS Entertainment, the third episode of the OED series will come with the 24th volume of the manga, and will be released on April 20th. A new episode of Magical Sweet Prism Nana will be released sometime in April. It will be animated by Shaft. Haikyuu Jump Festa 2015 special will feature an original story not seen in either the manga or the anime, involving Hinata and Kageyama failing a test and finding that the makeup exam conflicts with their training camp. This story is connected to Haikyuu second season's 4th episode. Animated by Production IG, this special will premiere on May 2nd. Awadi no Seraph, Kyuketsu Shaharu. The story is set before the main story's battle in the Nagoya arc. The Shinoa squad receives another mission from Gurren to rescue a human girl named Riko from a mysterious vampire Shaharu and bring her back to her family. However, Ferret and Crowley also appear when they find Shaharu. Can Yuichiro save the girl? Animated by Wood Studio, this special will be released on May 2nd. Shokugeki no Soma, Takumi no Shitamachi Gassen is a special bundled with volume 18 of the manga that focuses on the Aldini brothers Takumi and Isami Aldini. Animated by JC Staff, this special along with the manga will be released on May 2nd. Ajin OVA, the Ajin Control Committee's most feared worst case scenario, the Shinya Nakamura incident. The truth will finally be revealed. The story of the country's first Ajin will get a forbidden anime adaptation. This OVA will be bundled with the limited edition 8th volume of the manga. Animated by Polygon Pictures, this OVA will be released on May 6th. Arslan Senki OVA is an original DVD featuring another comedy story that takes place in the middle of the war. In the story, Givu gives Arslan a love lesson, and the romances of Daryun, Narcissus, and that hero are also revealed. Most likely animated by Sanzigen and Liden Films, this OVA will be released on May 9th. Magic-kun Renaissance, a world where art becomes magic. People who can inspire passion with their magic arts are called artistas and are employed in show business. Animated by Sunrise, this OVA will be released on May 18th. Mobile Suit Gundam The Origin Episode 3 or Part 3, the story will follow the youth who would become known as Char Aznable and his future comrade Garmazabi after they join the Zeons' military academy. Animated by Sunrise, the third part will premiere on May 21st. Girls Umpanza Akiyama Yukari no Sensha Koza is a special episode included with the Blu-ray disc and DVD releases of Girls Umpanza, their film. In addition, an OVA will also be included with the same release, taking place after the events of the movie. Animated by Actus, the Blu-ray and DVD release of the film along with the extra episodes will be released on May 27th. Finally, with these out of the way, we'll move on to the films. First is Doraemon Movie 36, Shin Nobita no Nippon Tanjo. In the story, Nobita comes up with the idea of running away from home because he is always being scolded at home and at school. Additionally, Gian, Shizuka, and Tsuneo all have their own reasons for running away from home. Together with Doraemon, they all travel through time to the Japan of 70,000 years ago. This is a remake of the 1989 film Doraemon Movie 10, Nobita no Nippon Tanjo. Animated by Shin Animation, this film premieres on March 5th. Moom is a film based on a children's picture book written by Genki Kawamura and illustrated by Yuki Mashiko, animated by Tonko House, Craftar, and Marza Animation Planet. This film premieres on March 5th at the Cinequest Film Festival. Shimajiro to Ehon no Kuni. The story begins when Shimajiro and his friends go to the sea and find a picture book that Shimajiro had treasured in his childhood. When they hear a voice beckoning them from the book, they are drawn into the world of the book. There they meet Punitan and find a town of sweets in the middle of a forest. Shimajiro must find a way to return to his world. Animated by Toho Animation, this film premieres on March 11th.
島児童と絵本の国3月11日全国ロードショー
Digimon Adventure Torai Dai Nisho Ketsui. Time has passed since Alphamon appeared, and restoration work has moved ahead little by little in the town of Odaiba. Joe feels caught between the imminent reality of college entrance exams and his responsibilities as a Digidestined. Mimi and Palmon ignore Koshido's attempts to hold them back. However, their battles bring about unforeseen consequences. Joe and Mimi each have their own troubles. Then, on the day of Tsukishima General High School's festival, that man appears before them. The adventure now evolves once again. Animated by Toei Animation, this film premieres on March 12th. Puripara Eiga Mina no Akogare Let's Go Puripari is a film that will be animated by Tatsunoko Production and premieres on March 12th. No synopsis is available yet. Precure All-Stars Mina de Utao, Kiseki no Maho, Mirai and Riko come to the human world to play, but are separated when the witch Sorciere and her servant Torama suddenly appear. Their aim is to acquire the tears of the 44 Precure girls, using them for her most evil magic. Only the friendship of all 44 Precure girls will allow them to protect the world. Animated by Toei Animation, this film premieres on March 19th. Tamayura Sotsuko Shashin Dai Yonbu Ashita is the final movie of a 4-part finale of Tamayura. This film was originally supposed to premiere on February 20th, but was delayed to improve the quality of the work as it is the finale of the series. Animated by TYO Animations, this film premieres on April 2nd.
Tamayura Sotsugyou Shashin Dai 4部 Ashita.
Crayon Shinchan Movie 24 Bakusui Yume Mi Worldo Dai Totsugeki is a story in which Shinchan's town is trapped in a nightmare world. Animated by Shina Animation, this film premieres on April 16th. Maytante Conan Movie 2 Junkoku no Nightmare is the 20th Detective Conan movie. It'll be animated by TMS Entertainment and premiere on April 16.
劇場版名探偵コナン純国のナイトメア
Hibike Euphonium movie Kitaoji Koko Suiso Gakubu e Yokoso is a film compilation of the first season of the TV anime Hibike Euphonium, which depicted a high school concert band's journey to the prefectural band competition. Animated by Kyoto Animation, this film premieres on April 23rd. Yu-Gi-Oh! The Dark Side of Dimensions. In the past, Yami-Yugi and Kaiba have clashed many times. Yami-Yugi, who resides in Yugi's body, and Kaiba will have a duel that bests their pride and accepts each other's mutual experience. Animated by Studio Dice, this movie premieres on April 23rd.
The Dark Side of Dimensions.
Shindobato Movie 3 is the third film in the Sinbad film trilogy. It was originally slated to open in March, but was delayed to sometime in May. It will be animated by Nippon Animation. Ajin Dainibu Shototsu is the second part of the Ajin movie trilogy. It will be animated by Polygon Pictures and premiere sometime in April. Garo Divine Flame. The film is a sequel set 4 years after Hono no Kokuin, which is the first Garo the animation television series. Animated by Mappa, this film premieres sometime in May.
Garo Divine Flame.
And finally, one of the most anticipated films for this season, for me personally, Zutto mae kara suki deshita Kokuhaku Jiko Inkai. It will be an anime adaptation of Kokuhaku Jiko Inkai, Renai series. The project will feature Vocaloid songs created by Honeyworks. The film will center around popular Honeyworks songs, such as Kokuhaku Yoko Renshu, Hatsukoi no Ehon, and Yakimochi no Kotae. Translated in English, these songs will be called Confession Rehearsal, The Picture Book of the First Love, and The Answer to Jealousy. The film will be animated by Qualia Animation and premiere on April 23rd. I hope you found this video helpful for new upcoming anime of spring 2016 you might be considering. Thanks for watching, and feel free to leave a comment on what anime you're looking forward to.